Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Life at Steps. This time, I'm just by myself. No Sam. We're in lockdown right now, so I can't really have anyone over, which is part of the issue with everything. And we're going to touch on that because the content for Steps, I've really been focusing on it, and that's one of the things that it is going to have to change slightly. And we have been doing it with the Football Laugh, where we have been doing a Zoom call and it works pretty well. I just don't want all the content to be on a Zoom call. So we're just going to have to adapt. I think we're going to be in lockdown until probably December. So look, you can sit there and make excuses and make less content, or you can just kind of work with what we got. So that's what I'll touch on first. The content. Actually, no. I want to touch on the shipping issues that we're facing right now. So at Steps, Sam, who is usually on this show as well, deals with all of the shipping, and we had some issues with the old shipping model, which was Sendle, and we found that sometimes it wasn't being picked up. Sam wasn't as diligent with it, and I would have loved to have him on this show or this episode, because he would have been able to go into a bit more detail and explain his end. But I found that it wasn't working the best. Orders were being shipped off too late. For me, it's so crucial to be able to, when a customer buys a product, their order should be fulfilled within the next 2 days, maximum. So how it works at Steps is if you purchase on a Monday, as long as it's before, I think like 3 p.m., your order will be fulfilled and then shipped off that day. Now, if it's after, like, it just depends, like 3 or 4 p.m., Sam has already left to the storage unit. He's already printed off all the orders, so then it gets done the next day. Now, if it's on the Saturday or Sunday, it gets done on the Monday. So it's always that we just need that clear, like, this is what happens, and it seems to be working really well right now over the last week and a half. Before that, we shipped from Sendle to Australia Post. Australia Post is faster overseas, it's cheaper. And so when we shipped, there were a couple of issues. We had about 60 orders that were left as initiated, meaning that we had printed them off, but I don't know the full story. And I believe what happened is Sam either took them there to the depot and had done something slightly incorrectly. And because it was new to us, we didn't exactly know the full process, what needed to be done, what shouldn't be done. And I think he was printing the form and sticky taping it onto the parcel, and they didn't want that, but they never told us. So we had to go in and be like, why are all of these initiated? Why haven't they been shipped off? And they came back to us and said, well, you have to put the form into the sleeve. And we're like, dude, we've just been waiting here for like a week. And so then other times, I think a couple of orders, Sam had printed them off and lost them, and they were stuck as initiated. So now the whole process seems very, very smooth over this last week and a half. I'm really happy with it. And if it stays consistent like this, then it's going to be great. And I'm just going to keep making sure that these, because now it's very clear to see which ones haven't been shipped off, whether, these things happen. When you're working with so many orders per day, you're going to, like, when you're packing them, you're going to maybe lose one satchel and it's just going to be lost. You'll never find it again, and you won't know, you won't remember. And that order will just be stuck as initiated. So we'll be able to see that at the end of sort of each day, and orders may be delayed like a day or two for something like that. But for the majority of the time, it's very, very simple. But for the most part, I believe we've fixed all of the shipping issues. On top of that, the Australia Post has been much cheaper, which has been able to give me the opportunity for American orders. If you order a elite pack, which is the 4-pack with the extra pair, you will get free shipping overseas. I think if you buy the 2-pack, it's like $5 Australian, very, very cheap. And then as well as if you're in Australia, I think the 2-pack is free shipping, and then the elite pack, the 4-pack with the free pair, that's free express shipping. So you'll be receiving your order next day or within 2 days. Next thing I want to touch on is the content. I'm really trying to hammer this out. I think one of the shows that I'm really liking is the Football Laugh. I just need to expand on it a little bit, because I feel like when I get into those shows, I need to prompt the footballer that I'm speaking with and try and give them, actually, I think before I'm going to give them sort of like a list of topics to talk about. So maybe like worst coach, not worst coach, but like funniest coach, and just give them like a prompt of things that that may trigger their mind to remember some stories, because that whole show is just about what are your funniest football stories. And I feel like the last couple of episodes, I really enjoyed them. Don't get me wrong, they were so good, but I would have liked to have an extra story or two in there. And so for the next ones, I'm going to send them just like a brief outline, some ideas, just before the podcast. So they might be like, oh yeah, I had this coach when I was like 8. And you just tell a short story about that. And that's how I want to go there. But I do really enjoy it. I think it's great because it's collaborating with other people. So how I want to do it is get a base down first, just with people who are very willing to get onto the podcast. And then I'll look into sort of progressively getting higher around episode 10, 11, 12. I mean, Matt Sheldon would jump on. I'm sure we could then look to, once we get Matt Sheldon, that provides a bit more of a base. More people are willing to get on. Jack Blake would love to get on, I'm sure. He wears steps all the time. Then we can look into, we have this base now and it's getting some views. We can look into sort of like A-League, MLS players, these higher level players, and trying to grow and just get these stories more out there. Because, bro, everybody would love to hear a story from an MLS player. That's just crazy. So that's the plan for that. We've also got, like, the breakdown. I've still been thinking about what I want to do with that show, because I feel like it's very similar to the Armchair Analyst. The Armchair Analyst is very, like, football orientated, what's going on in the football world right now. And the breakdown is that, but I saw it, and this is how I liked it, was that the Armchair Analyst was so detailed. JD knows all of his football, whereas Nathan and I, we don't know a whole lot about what's going on in the football world. We know quite a bit. We love our football, and we just wanted it to be two guys who sat down and enjoyed a chat about the game. But I feel like that's awesome, but I don't know. I'm still gauging whether the audience enjoys that, because I feel like when you're watching football content, maybe you want to watch two people who really know a whole lot and are very opinionated. So that's maybe, I don't know whether we will continue with the breakdown, but I do love Nathan. I want to think of something to keep him involved in the content. I'm just not sure what, and I need to think about that. And then the Armchair Analyst, I think I have to keep that show going. It is too good not to, especially during this lockdown. So we need to just go through Zoom. All the shows are going to be on Zoom except for this one here. And that's just the way it's going to be. I love the Armchair Analyst, the traction on that. People love it. I think JD is amazing. I love his character and his passion when it comes to these videos. And so I think he makes helps make some great content for the Steps channel. So that's kind of the aim with content at the moment. A little bit, it's tough with this lockdown, but again, I can either just sit here and be like, oh, we're in lockdown, I'm not going to film any content, or we can go, all right, how can we make this work? What's working? What's not working? What can we change? And that's what I'm doing. Lastly, email marketing. I've just changed everything last night. Well, not everything, but I changed the abandoned cart emails. They look a lot cleaner now, which I'm stoked with. And I just want to focus more on email marketing, providing like newsletters and just providing more value, putting the content out there. Because I feel like if I can get more people watching the content, they're going to resonate with the brand a whole lot more, enjoy Steps a whole lot more. And yeah, that's kind of my vision for the email marketing. It's very new to me. I don't really know how to do it. So I'm watching a whole lot of YouTube videos, a whole lot of people who are very experienced in the space, and then learning as much as I can to implement that into the business. So that's pretty much everything. Life at Steps is a little bit hectic because lockdown, it's trying to think of ways to make things work, but we're doing it. There's so many people buying Steps at the moment. We're actually on track to have our biggest month ever, which is crazy, just in a month of August, not even a Black Friday. It's, yeah, the hard work we're putting in is really starting to show, which is so cool. And it just goes to show that I think the main thing for me is the product that I spent so long developing is now starting to be recognized, and that's kind of cool. So many people try and copy it all the time, but the brand that we have at Steps, it's something different. So I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed Life at Steps episode 3. Hopefully we got Sam. Maybe we'll do next episode with Sam on Zoom. That would be kind of cool. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one.